Live for nothing. I am a failure, and I love it. Deviant. Die for nothing. I am my own friend. I don't need anyone else. I'm just like you. Deviant. This one's for you. Sick yourself skywards.
Hello and welcome everyone to Grid Vision as we have the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series here tonight. And of course, as you can see, we are going to get dirty here at Eldora Speedway. Definitely excited to see what these guys have in store for us as we actually are going to be doing the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series All-Star Race. And of course, this is going to be an exciting one. Not a whole lot of participation here tonight, but it's still going to be a good race for sure. Of course, the track temp at the moment, I do believe it's about 70 degrees here, 71 to be exact. Of course, ambient temperature about 78 degrees. Of course, not an expert on how the temperature affects these tracks. I know a lot of times dirt tracks, it's just a little bit out of my expertise in a lot of ways. Of course, but my name is Brian Britt. Of course, Taylor Burris, I do believe, is going to be joining us as the race goes on. Of course, Austin Derbyshire is down behind the cameras, and I do believe we're going to be actually going heat racing here today. I do believe, I'm not sure how many heat races we will have. I think it's going to be about 1 or 2 heat races that will lead into a 50-lap feature. Of course, let's look at the point standing. Of course, this race here tonight is not, I do believe, 4 points. We'll look at it just to say that we did. Justin Levine at the top of the board. For second place, Andrew Hale. Not a lot of points separating these two. I do believe just about 18 points. Third place, James Harris. Fourth place, Craig Ganzak. Fifth place, Stephen Gibson. Fifth place, William Mann Jr. Sixth place, Jason Taylor. Eighth place, Kyle Holden. Ninth, George Young. And 10th, John Thacker, or Brad Thacker. Of course, that is the top 10 end points at the moment. As I mentioned, this will not be a points race. Let's take a quick look at, I do believe, the schedule for the rest of the week. As we see, I do believe we're going to be going Thunderclap Racing tomorrow. As of course, we'll see exactly what we got in store for us. As you can see, we do have some days that are open that if you'd like to get your league covered, starting at $75 a race, we will definitely talk to you and make sure to join our Discord in order to get started with some negotiations and seeing if we can cover your series. Of course, like I said, tomorrow Thunderclap series is going to be in action at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Indianapolis, the Oval, in the Xfinity car. Of course, Friday, we're going to continue our coverage that we've been having of the NASCAR iRacing Series, or NIS, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be at Pocono Raceway. For Saturday, we're free. Sunday, we're going to be having Global Racing Truck Series at Pocono Raceway as well at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely going to be some exciting action for the rest of the week that'll scratch your racing itch, I'd say, and definitely looking to expand even more. So like I said, if your league is looking for some professional level broadcasting, definitely reach out to us here at Grid Vision. We have about 5 seconds left in qualifying before we have the information on what this is going to look like. I think I would have, if I was going to bet, I'd say we're going to probably split this into 2 heats, 5 driver and 5 driver each, and I think that is the case here. So heat number 1 is going to be Andrew Hale starting on the pole, Keegan Sobilo outside pole, 3rd place William Mann Jr., 4th Jason Taylor, and 5th Jessica Childs. Now, of course, this will be a 25-lap race, so half of the feature essentially going to be happening here in this heat, and that's quite a long ways. I mean, of course, these guys are going to be hitting about 18-second laps, so it's going to be a little bit of a long john here. I mean, and I don't know who is really good at the dirt racing. I know I've watched a little bit of these guys in practice. I saw Andrew Hale. He had a really interesting technique. He was running on the wall and a lot of times was getting into the wall. So curious to see what it's going to look like from these drivers. I know at the towards the end of practice, Keegan Sobilo turned out to be the fastest guy out there. I know he has real life experience in on asphalt, not exactly short or dirt track experience, but hey, you never know, that could actually apply to this style of racing. I know this is very difficult, taking these solid heavy trucks and driving them in the dirt. I know a lot of drivers are used to taking like sprint cars and things like that, and they're a little bit I'd say more grippy and reactive on tracks like, you know, Eldora, but these trucks are a lot heavier, and a lot of times when you hit the brake, a lot of times you spin out. That is what is so much different than what you see in the asphalt riding. It looks like Jessica Childs did miss the grid, so we're going to have 4 trucks here in this heat. But yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys manage this here. I know William Mann Jr. has been looking really consistent here as of late. And how much will this win mean to these guys? I know kind of a little bit of a rarity to see these drivers in the dirt. A lot of times we're just kind of at short tracks and speedways here in this series. But it looks like I should be seeing the pace car. Yep, there goes the truck. Dipping down pit road as the green flag gets prepared to fly. And there it is, flying for the first time here today in competition. And already Andrew Hale separates himself and secures the lead. You see Keegan Sabilo under fire somewhat by William Mann Jr., but I do believe he has gotten second place secured. And now is going to try to catch up there to the 4 machine. Andrew Hale has about a half a second gap already as we complete lap number 1. And everybody kind of spreading out already here. As Andrew Hale, as I mentioned, about a half a second over Sabilo. Sabilo about 6/10 over William Mann Jr. About a second William Mann Jr. is over Jason Taylor at the moment. So Taylor seems like he is struggling quite a bit. Looking at his lap times, he is almost a second off of the lap times that Andrew Hale is hitting at the moment. Now we do have to keep in mind as well, I am seeing this, I do believe, even though we have a 25 lap heat, these laps are going to go by fairly quick. I don't believe, if we don't have any cautions, it should be over to just a little over 6 minutes, which is actually kind of surprising to me, just considering, but these guys are definitely, I think they're starting to pick up some speed. I'm starting to see Andrew Hale definitely pick up the pace, 17.818 last time by, but Keegan Sabilo last time by was about a half a tenth faster, but then he just hit the wall. Let's see if that impacts his last lap time as he dives deep in the corner. You can see on the right side of that truck quite a bit of damage on the 77, and that does impact his lap time. He only lost about a tenth though, so it wasn't too bad. And now about a second, oh, there he goes again, into the wall once again. So Andrew Hale is going to continue to pull away, now out to about a second lead, as his lap time was 2/10 faster than Keegan Sabilo that last time by. So watch out for Andrew Hale. It seems like he has got his eyes on the prize to start on the pole for the feature. But one thing that these guys are going to have that's going to be serving as a little bit of a curveball, as I do believe the feature, these guys will be inverted, which means, and I don't mean the trucks are going to be upside down, ladies and gentlemen. I mean that they are going to have to, even if you win this heat, you're going to start at the back. So you kind of don't want to win this heat in a lot of ways. So, so we should see Jason Taylor actually start to the front if it continues the course. Starting to see a little bit of a, I'd say, yo-yoing effect here. Keegan Sabilo last time by was about 3/10 faster than Andrew Hale. He is starting to actually catch him. This is not over yet. I thought that Sabilo maybe had been struggling, but it looks like maybe as the track is starting to wear, he is starting to get better and better. And that is one thing about dirt racing that you always have to keep in mind. Look at that, Sabilo running pretty much right on the wall. He loses a lot of time as a result of it. All that time he had made up, he has just lost, and now is back to a second gap between him and Andrew Hale, as we're now at 15 laps to go, coming to 14. I do believe Andrew Hale probably is going to end up maybe even lapping Jason Taylor at this rate of speed he's running. Jason Taylor, of course, about 9.5 seconds, almost 10 seconds back from Andrew Hale. Of course, lap times Hale is running at the moment are roughly 18 seconds. He is been consistently the fastest driver on the racetrack, and you got to know the guys that are preparing for heat number 2 are watching and learning as much as they can from this 4 machine of Andrew Hale. And even though that he's looking really good out here on the dirt, I'll tell you what, he's been looking fantastic on the asphalt as well. We've been seeing him with some really impressive finishes the last several weeks, and it looks like he's definitely able to tackle the dirt. The thing is about it, dirt requires you to be able to really drive. I mean, you have to, there is no lucking into a win at dirt, especially in a truck, a truck car, or I should say a stock car. My brain stopped working there for just a second, but Andrew Hale still building up the gap. Last time by, he was just about a tenth faster than Keegan Sabilo. 1.8 seconds now is the lead as we come to now less than 10 laps to go, 9 to go this time by. And can anybody do anything with Andrew Hale course, Keegan Sabilo trying desperately. I got to give it props to William Mann Jr. He's still been quite quick out there. 18.3. He's not that far off the pace, to be honest with you. And like I said before, he's been doing better and better and better. Every week we see him in competition. He's really been one to watch, and is very doing a commendable job, I'd say, out here on this racetrack at the moment. But Andrew Hale seems like he's almost unbeatable here tonight. But last time by, Keegan Sabilo 17.8 versus Andrew Hale's 18.1. So we are starting to see Sabilo once again getting speed back, but it seems like he is lacking in consistency. And there he goes into the wall again. So it seems like Sabilo has got a lot of speed, but he is not able to consistently pull off the lap times he needs to. Last time by, he did actually catch up once again to Andrew Hale. The gap was about 1.5 seconds. Now it is about 1.2, 1.3. So it's kind of yo-yoing. And you can see Sabilo all up at the wall. One thing about dirt racing is these guys are wearing this track out. And that is causing the groove to move up further and further. And I do believe that is what Sabilo's issue is. He's trying to look for grip higher and higher on the track. But there's Jason Taylor getting ready to go a lap down. Could this cause problems for Andrew Hale? It looks like Hale gets by him without too much fuss. As we're now 4 laps to go, does Keegan Sabilo get by him without too much fuss? This is going to be, I know Sabilo's been running towards that high line. He's going to have to dive underneath him to try to get by. And I think he's going to make it by just barely. As we come to now 3 to go. 2 laps to go here. In just a moment, of course, we've been completely green thus far. Andrew Hale has led every single lap. Of course, the lap truck of Jason Taylor has brought Keegan Sabilo into, I'd say, range, though. Just considering about 7/10 is the gap now. And you can see Sabilo is diving it in. I feel like him trying to dive it in on Jason Taylor, I think he might have learned something there, ladies and gentlemen. I think he might have been like, hey, I had to go down there. And I think he found a little bit of grip. Now he runs a little bit higher. Just having that back end kind of scrubbing on the outside wall as the white flag is out, and I think it is too late for Keegan Sabilo. We are on the final lap as Andrew Hale goes into 3 and 4. He will come across the start-finish line as your winner here in heat number 1 at Eldora. Of course, Keegan Sabilo comes home 2nd place, William Mann Jr. 3rd, Jason Taylor in 4th. And of course, keep in mind, we are going to invert the field for the 50-lap feature here in a moment. And of course, I do believe we're going to be going right into heat number 2. Of course, starting up on the pole here, Justin Levine, Brad Thacker in 2nd, George Young 3rd, Craig Ganzak in 4th, Tyler Meeks in 5th. And this is going to be an interesting one. I know Craig Ganzak, he is a tough customer, one that is going to be very difficult to beat. He's going to be starting in 4th. I think we're going to see him probably trying his best to drive through the field. Justin Levine has been, I'd say, just the dynamo here lately. He has been the guy that has been coming out here and schooling everybody. Even guys like Robbie Keneally have earned, I'd say, Justin Levine has earned their respect. And it looks like we have been joined in the booth by Taylor Burr. Has come to allow me to rest my voice a little bit here as we get ready to start this 25-lap heat.
Oh, goodness. We are excited to see the action here live from the virtual Eldora Speedway, and we're about to go racing for another great heat race as Justin Levine and the Grid Vision machine will take the lead here and get this show on the road.
Looks like we're getting ready to go back green here. Sorry, I had a little bit of a technical issue there with my volume. But definitely excited to get this thing underway. Levine has been really, I'd say, just setting the world on fire here in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Unfortunately, it looks like Tyler Meeks not going to make the grid as the pace car dips down pit road. And the green flag flies once again here for heat number 2. Of course, heat 1 went completely green. Will this one go completely green? I don't know. There's Craig Ganzak and Justin Levine's pretty impressive drivers. Oh, you see already Brad Thacker up into the wall there. Here comes Janzak. Can he make the pass there on the 56?
He's going to try to send it in on the inside lane, and then you got the wall riding of Thacker up against the outside wall. Was able to keep it off a bit too much as troubles for Young as he drops back quite a ways, 2 seconds out of it, and he's going to have a lot of work to do here these next 24 laps.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely hard to get to work around this place. I mean, you have to be just so consistent. And Justin Levine, of course, with the track position, I think is going to benefit from that greatly. It's going to be very difficult to pass this 33. Because, of course, we see Janzak has made his way up to second place, but he is being followed quite closely by, I'd say, Brad Thacker. Thacker looking kind of impressive here, even though he did lose that position pretty much on the start. I don't know if what we'll see here from 56. Really loose there off of 2, though. Looks like Craig Janzak is going to pull away. Looking at the speed there from Justin Levine, 18.1 last time by from him. I'm wondering if the track conditions have carried over, and I do believe they have, from heat number 1. Now that could, make it quite different than what we saw in heat number 1. Just considering, I know that Andrew Hale was dealing with a fresh racetrack. These guys are dealing with more of a worn track. Couldn't that be definitely influential there?
Oh, it will be a lot of influential situations here for the drivers as the race progresses here. One thing to keep in mind, of course, for these drivers is how it will play out regarding where the groove is for these drivers. Now, that's why you're seeing a lot of them run up towards the outside wall, because really, that's where a lot of that grip will come into play. As you see Brad Thacker slide it on in there to try to get a good run. You don't want to run too much on the bottom. You want to try to stay up against that wall. That's the this way around here. We may see some drivers try to utilize the inside lane to maybe try to make a pass, as we'll see, but really that outside lane, if you want to try and make up time and gain ground in your competition, that outside lane is going to be the best way to go.
Yeah, I think it just really depends. I think there is some grip to be had on the bottom line. I mean, especially one thing about dirt racing is like, yeah, as the race goes on, you're going to see that groove kind of move up the racetrack, but eventually it moves to a point where there is no groove higher, so you kind of have to go to the bottom again, and that's one of the interesting things about dirt racing is how you have to adapt, and I don't think we really see it to that level in asphalt racing. Yeah, looking at the differences through the cockpit cameras here between the, I do believe the leader and of course second place. And we're watching a lot more, I'd say, steering input from Craig Janzak. You're seeing it, he's moving the wheel a lot more here. And I mean, I'm wondering, I know that, this is kind of a racing, dirt racing, you do kind of steer a lot more than you do in asphalt racing, but I still feel like you want to be as precise as you can still, though.
You don't want to be cranking on that wheel. It was trouble for the 56 of Brad Thacker. He's going to be riding that wall as best he can. He has it back up, but back to the point, you want to be very careful with your input. You don't want to be cranking on the wheel. You kind of want to just kind of dance with it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a nudge, hit the marks, and then be able to turn the wheel, straighten it back out. The thing is, and then you want to get that tail, like we see right here with the 33 of Justin Levine, cranking out that wheel. That tail is coming out a little bit to where it almost is, basically you want to drift the car, which is something you don't want to maybe do on the asphalt side of things, but on the dirt, you certainly do.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I think it's a very fine line in dirt racing. I mean, you want to kind of have it kicked out a little bit, but not too much. You still want to have it somewhat, a lot, that is very similar to asphalt racing, is you want to still get that straight drive off. And I think that's what Levine's trying to walk that knife's edge in a lot of ways, to keep that straight drive off, to still be able to have it go sideways to make the turns, but not get bogged down. I think that's the big thing.
It is the big thing. You don't want to carry too much speed where you lose a lot of momentum off corner exit, but you do want to make sure you balance on that fine line. As we're watching Thacker still holding on to that third position. He's comfortably in the third position for the time being, as he will come around the circuit. He's almost 8 seconds back from your race leader, Justin Levine, in that Toyota Tundra. As we watch the field, there is the 48 of Young, as he is just going to maybe get some more laps in and try to get ready for the feature race later tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing any better. I'd probably be doing worse here than George Young. If I was out here on this racetrack, I would probably be a danger to everyone. I have never been a big dirt racer, to be honest with you, and never been good at it. But I like to watch it. I'm glad I'm where I'm at right now.
Well, you got to thank it for it. These are big, heavy trucks that race around this circuit that you have to kind of force your way to get that car, that tail, really straighten out like that, compared to what we're normally see, which would be a dirt late model or a sprint car that's so much more easier to put the inputs in to run around these tracks. So it's a handful to try to drive these trucks around Eldora.
Oh yeah, 100%. It is, and it seems like Craig Ganzak's starting to have a little bit of trouble to actually catch up to Levine. I mean, he was faster than Levine last time by, but not by much. I mean, it just seems like, oh, now he's up into the wall. He's going to probably lose a little bit of time there. But then again, some guys have been using that wall somewhat to their advantage. But I don't think you really want to hit it that hard. I think you do still lose time, but I don't know. Like you see Ganzak, he's ebbing and flowing here. Some parts of the track he's catching up, some parts he's not. I think this lap here, he's kind of trending towards the ladder to where he's starting to lose time.
Of course, you got to remember, too.
Oh,
Can he hold it? He saves it, but he's going to lose a ton of time on Justin Levine with 3 laps to go. Another thing to keep in mind, too, Brian, is a brand new update for the dirt tracks came out here recently that will benefit of how the input, how the truck will feel on this dirt. The dirt's going to go through a big change, like even more so than what we already see right now.
Yeah, I think these guys are starting to struggle. I'm even seeing it from Justin Levine. I think the track has hit a point of where it is really worn out, and these guys are having a hard time putting the grip down to the dirt, if you will. But yeah, I mean, that update's very, looks like we're coming to 2 laps to go. Final lap, actually, white flag out in the air here as Justin Levine, I think he's pretty much got it all in the books here. He is probably going to be winning our stage, or heat number 2 here. Keep in mind, though, the winner of this heat will start in the back. We are inverting the field here, but Justin Levine will still win it. Craig Ganzak, of course, comes home 2nd place. Brian Thacker in 3rd, and George Young in 4th place. But I do like what you mentioned about the update to the dirt. One thing that we don't see a lot of is wear on the tires in dirt on iRacing. That is no longer the case. There is wear on tires now. But it looks like we have completed heat number 2. And I do believe we're going to be starting our 3-minute warm-up for the drivers here. We'll go ahead and take a brief step away. We'll be right back with the feature here, 50 laps here at Eldora.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grid Vision as we tackle tonight's presentation of Champion Power Equipment's All-Star Race at Eldora Speedway. Of course, do want to give a shout out to our title sponsor here. Of course, they're in the name, Champion Power Equipment. Of course, are you looking for reliable, high-performance power equipment to help you tackle any job? Look no further than Champion Power Equipment. Whether you need a portable generator, pressure washer, or any other power tool, Champion has you covered with top-of-the-line products at affordable prices. And as a proud sponsor of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, they're always looking to bring you even more power and performance on and off the track. Visit them at championpowerequipment.com today to learn more. We definitely appreciate them being an awesome sponsor here. I know they've been a long-time sponsor of this series as well, and can't wait to see what the future holds there, as I do believe we have wrapped up warm-up. And I do believe we are all set to go for our 50-lap feature here tonight. Of course, Tyler Meeks is going to be starting on the pole. Jessica Childs, I do believe, starting in second place. I don't believe we saw Jessica Childs actually run in the heat, but that's all right. Third place, George Young. Fourth place, Jason Taylor. Fifth place, Brad Thacker. Sixth place, William Mann Jr. Seventh, Craig Yanzak. Eighth, Keegan Sobilo. Ninth, Justin Levine. And 10th, Andrew Hale. As I mentioned, Taylor, you can clearly see it's an inverted field. Levine and Hale won their heats, and they're starting in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I was getting ready to say, it's going to be exciting to watch those two front runners in Heat 1 and Heat 2 come up through the field, but it's also going to be a little bit of a tricky challenge for them because they got a lot of work to do, and we're going to see how that 48 machine will lead the field here today. He struggled a little bit, but let's hope he can get some things going as Tyler Meeks will be ready to go. Taylor Jansen up there in amongst the mix. And then the 56 of George Thacker, another one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I do believe Tyler Meeks and Jessica Childs not making the grid again here. Unfortunate. Looks like we're just going to have 8 drivers in this feature. But George Young, I know he struggled quite a bit in his heat. So this is going to be kind of a tall task for him, and it could be a danger for the guys that are starting behind him. But hopefully he's gotten plenty of practice there in that 48 Yingling machine, as we should see the pace car dipping down pit road any second now. Of course, Jason Taylor was another one that struggled quite substantially. It's going to be a tall task, I think, for Justin Levine and Andrew Hale. They're going to make this exciting, trying to get through this field. Can they, though? Passing is going to be difficult here in the dirt. Slide jobs, I think, is going to be the name of the game, as the green flag is out for the first time in the feature. And Jason Taylor gets a pretty good restart. Wow, we already got a stack up, as it looks like Brad Thacker up into the outside wall. I thought we were getting ready to have a caution. 3 wide is Craig Yanzak and Justin Levine duel it out. Of course, you see Keegan Sobilo also battling hard. It looks like, I think, Andrew Hale taking a little bit more of a conservative lane, not wanting to get caught up in this major chaos.
How about 3 wide as they come off of turn number 2, side by side as they head off into turns 3 and 4. You got Levine on the top side in the Chevrolet. Yanzak in the middle, and he wants to try to take this race lead away from the driver of Young.
And they are beating and banging. These guys are getting they're almost like they're going up on the top rope and dropping some atomic elbows right now. As you see Justin Levine in the middle, 3 wide, he takes the lead. Had a little bit of contact there with George Young. Craig Yanzak right there on the back of the 33 machine. And here comes Andrew Hale to the inside, trying to get by Keegan Sobilo. Looks like he falls off a little bit there. I would not sleep on this 4 machine. He was so good in his heat.
Yeah, that 4 machine of Andrew Hale is just absolutely trying to put on some burners here. He's keeping up pretty well. He's going to hold that 4th position for the moment. If they continue their way through side by side for the race lead as Yanzak and Levine, your 2 championship rivals. Ooh, big send right there from Hale on Sabila. Hale's going to drop back quite a ways as he's down there on the bottom in his Chevrolet.
Yeah, Hale definitely trying to make something happen. Of course, in his heat, he led every single lap. But right now, and we never really saw him have to make any passes. So this is going to be a tough day for him. If he can get by Sobilo, and he's got to get by Craig Yanzak, then he's got to get by Justin Levine. All 3 of these drivers that are in front of him are not guys that like to be passed.
And you're on board with the Hyperforce Esports Chevrolet of Justin Levine as he's trying to hold on against Craig Yanzak in that Champions Power Equipment Chevrolet. Gonna get a good run here side by side, but Levine on the outside just has that momentum to keep him up towards the front of the field.
Whoa,
Big
slide job! Whoa!
How about that? A crossover on the inside by Levine.
That was just plain awesome right there. Craig Yanzak just sent it in and was able to get clear as well, and then Levine was like, nope, I goes right underneath them, takes the position back. I don't think we're done with this. These guys they mean business here.
They certainly do, but they're going to put on one heck of a show for us as the two drivers go head-to-head. Don't forget about Sabila right there in the mix.
Yanzak having some blinking issues. No. Don't let this race between these two guys be spoiled by blinking, please.
Exactly. You don't want that to happen as they scrape the wall. Oh, trouble right there for Yanzak. He's stuck on the outside wall. This opens up the door for Sabila to go to the inside.
Sabila tries to slide up. A little bit of contact there. Not quite able to get the pass completed. Could just size him up here for Andrew Hale. Hale's going to try to see if he can't go to the bottom and see what he can do. But these guys are in a class of their own right now. The top four, you can throw a blanket over them. They have about 6/10. They're all pretty much all right there in that 6/10 gap. Of course, fifth place Wingman Jr. He's 1.7 seconds back from Andrew Hale. Of course, 2.5 seconds back from the leader, Justin Levine. George Young, he's about 6.4 seconds back. I mean, these guys are in another zip code at the moment.
They certainly are as you ride on board with the Grid Vision Chevrolet of Justin Levine. He's going to hold on and try to maintain the race lead. It's a big slide by Sabila. Couldn't make it work, though, as he'll lose a position over Andrew Hale.
Yeah, Sabila not going to be denied. He has just painted himself down there on that bottom line. But it looks like Hale has taken over third. Now he's going to try to see if he can't get by Craig Yanzak, which is going to be a very difficult task indeed. But if anybody can do it, I think Hale can do it. He has proved that he is one that these guys do not need to sleep on. He has got a lot of talent, no matter if it's on the road course, in the dirt, or on the super speedway or the speedways. He's one that you need to watch out for.
You certainly do, and he's going to be one that's going to be hard to beat all season long as your top four. How about this? This is exciting. This is what we love about dirt racing, where you have some of your best of the best going head-to-head here, and they are racing hard but racing clean against each other as they come out of two. Yanzak trying to get to the inside of Levine, cannot make it work.
And at the same time, you saw Hale trying to get to the bottom underneath Yanzak and still not able to get there either. He ends up sliding up to try to keep and protect that position from Sabilo. Sabilo says that he is going to wait for any mistake, and there goes Levine with a mistake. And of course, Levine hits the wall, comes down and hits the three of Yanzak on the nose, and that causes Yanzak to lose it almost, but he saves it and actually challenges for the lead. Wow. But it looks like he is going to drop back to third. It looks like Andrew Hale takes advantage of the situation. Hale's going to try to see if he can't possibly battle here with Levine, but look at that. Look at Yanzak. This guy has got sliders in his back pocket. He just throws them out whenever he wants.
He certainly does as he gets up into the outside wall again. This opens up the door for Andrew Hale, and here comes Sabila. He'll drop back to P4. Andrew Hale wants a big run. Here's a little bit of bumping and banging. 4-3 wide. Big send by Sabila. Will he clear him? Clears him off of turn 4, but Levine power smacks through.
Yeah, it seems like that slide job just does not seem to... It's a temporary victory because it seems like you're just not able to get the runs you need on the exits of the corners when you do that. So that is why I think Levine continues to lead this race. That even though these guys continue to send these desperate sliders, it doesn't seem to be working. And you know what this is also doing, Taylor? It's bringing William Mann Jr. closer to his top four.
You've got to be careful with that, though, with how much you're sliding, because that's going to affect the handling of your truck, as well as also the handling of how it feels. That's trouble. Yanzak moves it around. Does he save it? No, he does not. He keeps it going. He's out of the racing circuit, but he's going to lose a ton of time and positions on the rest of the field as they're approaching lap traffic, catching up to the back end of Jensen Taylor to put him a lap down.
That's right. You see right there, Craig Yanzak falls all the way back to 5th place. He is now 8.5 seconds back from the leader, Justin Levine. That is going to be a heartbreaker for the 3 machine. Luckily, this race is not for points. It is just for honor, I'd say. But yeah, lap traffic is definitely going to be coming into play here. Sabilo challenges for the lead, not quite able to get there, but how will lap traffic influence this battle?
It's already getting a little dicey. You're right on board with Andrew Hale as he gets around the 15 of Jansen Taylor. And they continue on. They got 2 more to put a lap down as you're right on board with him. As he's trying to find his way around the 77 of Sabila. You got Thacker and Goron right in front of your leaders.
One of the leaders.
Big
and there
save.
goes Andrew Hale hard into the outside wall.
Oh.
And the yellow flag will come out as Andrew Hale takes a massive smash to the front end of that 4 machine. That is where lap traffic, that is where bad things go wrong. I'm telling you, he was going through the minefield and he stepped right on the mine.
Yeah, it was. And right, look at the save that Levine was able to get through. And unfortunately, tough break right there for Hale as he will come down pit road. Now, since tonight's just not for points, is there a fast repair available, Brian, for these drivers?
Well, there usually is. So I would assume that they're actually, let's see here. I will tell you in just a moment. I do not see one. Well, 2 fast repairs, actually. I do apologize.
Oh, well, that's a big save right there.
Yeah, but the bad thing about it is he took a tow.
It is. Well, your caution, as we see, caution laps do count.
Yeah. I would say if they didn't count, I know some dirt racing caution flags don't count. In this race, it seems like it does. So that will, he's right down 2 laps down. Jason Taylor, of course, 1 lap down. George Young, 1 lap down. Brad Thacker as well, 1 lap down. That was a big accident right there, and that leaves only Justin Levine, Keegan Sabilo, William Mann Jr., and Craig Ganzak on the lead lap. I'll tell you that did save Craig Ganzak. It very much saved him.
It did, because he was going to be put a lap down here pretty soon as well, with him having that mistake off the corner exit. And it looks like lights are out on the pace car. We're about to go back green flag racing, and Hale has still not gotten off pit road yet, so he's going to go more laps down.
I hate that, man. It breaks my heart. He was so fast. He had speed to be able to take care of business here, but that's just the thing about lap traffic. It's hard enough at a track like this, but it looks like we're going to be getting back going racing once again as the green flag back out in the air with, I do believe, 22 laps to go. Keegan Sabilo looking really good on the top side. Watch out here for the 77. He has won a race this season. Can he make it another one? As he is a relative newcomer here to this series.
How about William Mann Jr. keeping up pace right there in amongst your top 4 as well? He's going to try to battle with your race leader of Janzak, as well as also Justin Levina. Sabila takes over the race lead for the first time here tonight. New race leader with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, he has been looking really good. I also have been noticing quite a bit of, I'd say, fall off as well from some of these drivers. We're seeing the track is definitely starting to wear out. We're seeing about 4/10, about to a half a second of fall off from some drivers. Of course, like you said, Sabilo in the race lead. Now, what will Levine do to try to get this lead away? Just considering from what we saw before the caution, he was getting sliders put on him from left and right. Everybody was throwing sliders on him, but no one was able to make it stick. So now he's got to try to do that same thing and somehow actually be able to make the pass stick.
He is doing everything he can to try to get back around, but Janzak's going to be very aggressive to try to get around his championship rival of Justin Levine. The 2 of them are now lined up nose to tail as they head off into turn 3, just under 20 laps to go.
That is right. I think I see what Levine's doing. I think he's probably going to try to see if he can't maybe get above Sabilo. Instead of trying to throw a slider, if he can get his nose above him, he'll get the drive off that Sabilo won't be able to get to. Because you see Sabilo's running a little bit lower, but these guys, I think the track is getting so worn to where they're having a tough time keeping those cars pointed in the right direction. As you can see, Sabilo getting really, I'd say loose. He's having to counter steer quite a bit off of these corners.
He is having to do a lot of counter steering. That's going to be a little bit detrimental for him if he's not careful as they work their way off the corner. You got to be careful of that input on the steering wheel. Otherwise, you are going to be able to not able it. So big trouble right there for Levine. He gets a little bit loose right there, gathers it back up, and it continues on, hits the wall heading into turn 3.
Yeah, I don't think this is over yet. He gathered it back up, but he's having some sort of issue here where the car seems like he's cutting some of the track. I don't know if this could be on purpose, but I know it is kind of possibly giving an opportunity to Janzak. If Janzak can get above Levine in one, oh, we got problems. The 48 in the middle of the track. Janzak has to stop, and he hits him with his front nose. No caution, and there it is. Caution flag is out. And that is going to be probably very upsetting to Janzak. Nothing he could really do in that situation. If we take a look back, we see the 48 of George Young goes around in the middle of the racetrack, right there in front. Oh, you see big hit from Jason Taylor. And you see, of course, the 48 coming down the track. Then he starts to get going again and just cannot seem to get the grip. And this is right when the leaders are coming through, and there goes Janzak right into his rear end. Oh, just unfortunate there. It's one thing, I mean, to get back going on an asphalt track, but I mean on a dirt track, it's so hard to get back going again. I mean, it's so hard to get grip in the first place.
Tough.
You see that huge hit there from the 15.
That was a hard hit for the mid-pack racing of George Young right there.
You see, he was trying to get back going, and then Janzak just was running the bottom line. I guess he didn't see him. Wouldn't mind even taking a camera through the cockpit and seeing what Janzak saw. If he had any visibility here at all to what was awaiting him on the exit of the corner. But it looks like we are going to be coming to, I do believe, 10 laps to go, as we're going to take a replay and possibly look through, the cockpit here. As you can see, this is actually through George Young. Here's the,
He saw him.
He saw him, but you can see he even tried to turn to avoid him. But that's the thing about dirt racing, though, Taylor. You can't change direction that easily out here. I mean, it's almost like you're in a boat. You know, like when you're in a boat and you turn the steering wheel in a boat, it's not going to change direction immediately.
Yeah, here on the dirt, you're not going to be able to turn a dime in these big old trucks. The sprint car, you could probably do it a little bit better, or a midget, or a micro machine. But with these big, heavy, trucks, you're not going to be able to do that at all. As we're now getting ready to go back, green flag racing. 10 laps to go, coming to actually make it 9 to go. And Sevilla gets a good run on the outside, but Levine powers through on the inside. Can he slide up in front of the nose of that number 77? The answer is yes. Takes over the race lead.
Yeah, here comes Sevilla, though. He's going to try to go back to the bottom here. Big slider from him. Can he get clear? Nope, he's not able to get it done. Levine is secure in his lead at the moment. Janzak getting incredibly loose. Ooh, you can see Janzak is starting to struggle, and it could be as a result of the damage from that hit with George Young. Oh, you see William A. Jr. trying to hold off Greg Janzak. Can William A. Jr. get himself a podium finish here tonight?
He's looking in the right direction. Of course, for Janzak, he's got some significant nose damage to the nose of that Chevrolet, which could affect overheating. As side by side for the race lead, Zabili on the outside, Levine on the inside. Levine slides the nose right across the nose of that number 77, but Zabila crosses him up to the inside. Big send into the middle of turn 22.
Wow. I mean, so Bilo did the mother of all sins right there, and I think it might work. I think if he can maximize his exit speed here, I don't know. No, he's not going to be able to do it. Levine takes the lead back. It's still anybody's race. Anybody's race here, I'd say, between these two guys. And what if Sabilo and Levine take each other out? Then who's going to win this race? And that would be William Mann Jr. Wouldn't that be something?
It would be something here, and Craig Janzak is now struggling, and here comes William Mann Jr. He's right there in the catbird seat.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to join this battle, especially if they keep battling side by side. Of course, we see some issues with Jason Taylor and George Young. These guys have just been having problems all night long. If this brings out a caution, this could bring Andrew Hale into the race.
It doesn't. And they're going to keep on going. They stay out of the harm's way. Levine's going to try to hold off pushing Sevilla up the track a little bit.
I think that might be the thing that Sevilla probably wants. He wants to be higher. I would want to be up the track a little bit further, because that way I can get the runs off the corner. You're seeing that Sevilla is able to get there, but then last time by, Levine did lead that lap as we come to 2 laps to go. The white flag's going to be waving when we cross the line this time by who is going to win this race. Will it be Sabilo? Will it be Levine? It is going to be very, very close. I think either way here as the white flag does wave. Sabilo jumps to the bottom. Oh, big hit on the inside wall. And that will probably ruin his chances of winning this race. And I think Justin Levine, all he has to do is bring it home.
Out of turn number
And here he
4.
comes.
Out of turn number 4, he will take home his 4th win of the season in the Grid Vision Chevrolet.
Wow. Of course, this not being a points win, but still big. I mean, this guy has been winning at every type of track we've seen all season long, and he now has won in the dirt. Let's take a look back at this. The battle that I think I'd say kind of settled who was going to win this race. You can tell just how much Sabilo wanted to win this race here. As he tries to dive it in underneath third green. Boom! Right there into the inside wall. That's just got to be a lot of dejection in the heart of Keegan Sabilo.
If he would have not hit that wall, I say it would have been a different scenario, period.
But what a finish. As we see Justin Levine celebrating that win. We'll go ahead and take us through the final results here tonight in the All-Star race at Eldora Speedway. Of course, Justin Levine, your winner here tonight. Keegan Sabilo comes home in second place. William Mann Jr., very respectable third place finish. Fourth place, Craig Yanzak. Fifth place, Andrew Hale, a lap down. Brad Thacker in sixth. Jason Taylor in seventh. Eighth place, George Young. Ninth, Tyler Meeks, of course, who did not start, and Jessica Childs, who did not start as well. Rounds out the top 10 competitors here tonight, and I love it. Justin Levine found victory lane here at Eldora. But I do believe we'll go ahead and get right on into our interviews here, starting with, I do believe, William Mann Jr. And we have him here in the booth. Third place finish, William Mann Jr. I'm telling you, if Keegan and Justin had battled any harder and maybe taken each other out, you could have won this race. And it seemed like as the race was progressing, you were getting better and better. How do you feel about your performance here tonight?
Oh, I definitely, I was sucking on the egg the first half of that race, just doing terrible. I like racing dirt, but I'm a little rusty. But yeah, man, they were getting after them sliders. I was like, man, just make contact. Let me get my nose in there. I'm gonna make it interesting. But we didn't get a chance.
I'm telling you, it definitely was exciting for sure to see, just them battling in front of you. I mean, it seemed like them side by side kind of made it to where you were catching up to them. Like, what was some of your preparation that you put in to get ready for Eldora?
Well, every time the official series come here, I like to put a lot of seat time into it. I grew up watching my daddy race dirt, so I like to get my seat time where I can on the dirt tracks. So just try to get these trucks to run like dirt cars a little more difficult.
Yeah, definitely very difficult, especially in these trucks. I mean, you said so you have previous experience in kind of dirt cars, but not necessarily the stock car. Is there a big difference?
Well, the truck's naturally kind of loose on asphalt already, and when they get here, you really got to drive off that right rear tire more than you normally would anywhere else. So it makes it takes a little bit of getting used to, even if you've done it before, because it's not something me personally, I do all the time. So every time the session opens up, when we got a league race here, I'm really trying to put some laps in and get in the swing of things.
100%. Of course, you're going to probably try to keep this momentum going. Of course, Milwaukee's going to be coming up next week. 100 laps there, and of course, this truck. How do you feel about that place? That's another type of somewhat of a difficult track, flat track.
Yeah, the flat tracks are pretty mean to me. I have to put a lot of time into getting a decent line and trying to see if I can't save the tires on that daggone thing. But I normally end up burning them up a little soon, so I'm gonna have to put a little extra time this week.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing what you can do. I know we've been seeing you kind of grow and get better and better as we've been watching as the season has progressed. Who can we shout out to after this third place finish there, William?
Hey, man, Champion Power Equipment for sponsoring the league. Blackstone Management as well. Man's Maintenance, my family business that helps to pay for me to play. Those are the basic big ones. All the guys that put it together. Grid Vision for broadcasting for us and taking care of us.
All right, well, it's no problem, man. With races like this, it definitely it's very easy to call a race when you guys put on shows like that. But we'll see you later, William, and have a great night.
Thank you.
That was, of course, William Mann Jr., our third place finisher. Next up, Taylor Burris is standing by with Keegan Sobilo, our second place finisher and almost winner.
Here with Keegan. Keegan, you came so close to coming home with a victory here, but just had a little bit of an issue. Talk us through that final lap.
Yeah, it's one I'm gonna remember for a long time. There's just messed up, hit the wall. I thought I was gonna be able to sneak underneath them and slide up, and I messed up, misjudged, hit the wall. We had a good run there going. Just really disappointed. This is gonna be one I'm gonna remember for a long time. That's gonna sting for a little bit, but appreciate Mike Wheeler for spotting me tonight. Feel bad I couldn't get it done for him tonight. We had the thing there, and I just screwed it up there.
Walk us through, though. I mean, you were putting on some strong runs on that outside lane quite a bit. What was it about that outside lane that was so special and unique to stay up there and challenge Justin for the race win?
Yeah, I actually was liking the top like more of a middle groove. We were running the heat there, and Mike was telling me I was getting too high, and I needed to change it. And we kind of went over it in the warm up, and until I got it down, and I found something there in that middle just to make it work, just where the truck would stick. I also had toe damage from getting involved in one of those cautions there. I think it was Andrew Hall I made contact with in the right front after he was spun into the wall, and bent the toe a little bit, so it kind of handled best there too with the damage, and I was able just for some reason to get it rolling and keep it sticking on his outside.
Well, before we let you go, anyone you would like to say thank you to?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all the sponsors on the truck, After Hours Restorations, Admin Box, Sobilo Racing Esports, United States Racing League, Johnson iRacing Team. Thank you to Champion Power Equipment and all the other sponsors that sponsor this thing. Huge shout out to Mike Wheeler tonight for up on the box. Always one of the best crew chiefs and spotters you can find out there. Still celebrating that Chicagoland win a little bit ago, so gotta owe this all to him here. He's been doing an amazing job, and thank you guys for broadcasting this. It's always cool to go back and watch these things and have them to keep, so thank you guys.
Well, that is, of course, the driver of that number 77, Keegan Sobilo, coming home in second place, but we are now going to talk to our winner, Justin Levine. He is with Brian Britt.
Justin, man, what a fantastic race there. I mean, it was kind of, I tell you, we didn't know who was going to win there until, I'd say, Keegan hit the inside wall. It was a desperate fight between you two. And of course, even when Craig Ganzak and Andrew Hale were up there in the mix, it was just an awesome battle between all four of you. And just walk us through how exciting it was. And, you have to be, your heart's got to be pumping pretty quick after that one.
Oh, yeah, it is. That was so much fun. That's the best racing I've had on the sim in years. I can't believe how close and how aggressive everybody was, and we didn't kill each other. Unfortunately, Andrew got involved in the wreck with the lap in those cars there, but that was so intense. Lap after lap, my heart is beating through my chest. I still in awe.
Now walk us through some of the difficulties of this race car as well at this sort of a track. I don't know how much experience you have with dirt, but I know that these stock cars are very heavy and a lot of times don't do what you want them to do at a track like this.
I got a little bit of experience, but since the new update on dirt, what behind the ears, but the track constantly changing was a huge factor. I loved being up against the wall, and early on, as you can see, everybody was up there, and you just had to try to slide job it, and the slide jobs weren't working. And I was able to just let them slide in front of me, gas it up, have all the momentum in the world, and drive right past them coming out of the corner there. But once,
we kind of saw that, yeah.
Once the track started getting slick up top, I had to relearn basically how to run the race. And Keegan basically was showing me the way, and I just didn't listen until that caution. And I had no choice but to just keep trying to run as low as I can to make sure that if he's going to sling it in, I have a chance to slide up and not get taken and swept out. So unfortunately he hit the wall there, but that would have been some finish. He was gonna freaking hit me hard.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was shocked to see him just kind of plow into the inside wall, but somehow he was able to come home in second, so definitely hats off to him for sure. I mean, that was a heck of a battle there for sure. I know this was not a points race. How much does this still mean to you? I mean, you've gotten a lot of wins this season. I mean, you've definitely been sending a message. How does that feel?
It feels awesome, especially technically this is my 3rd win straight, even though it's an all-star race. But it's just all momentum. It feels great.
Speaking of momentum, of course, we're going to be taking that momentum to Milwaukee. Do you think you're going to be able to properly utilize that momentum? I mean, how do you feel about that racetrack? I know a lot of drivers kind of don't care for that track as much. I mean, just considering it is one of those kind of like a New Hampshire track. I know it's a little different than New Hampshire, but the long sweeping corners a lot of times can highlight weakness in drivers. How do you feel about that track? Is that a strong suit?
I'm part of that group that despises that place. I love it in the not the K&N, in the SKs and the modifieds, but as the truck, just being big and heavy and being momentum based, it's long and it's boring. But we'll adapt, and hopefully I'll be able to get some practice laps in and be competitive.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be boring just because of you guys out there, the level of competition we have here in Champion. Even though we had like 4 drivers that were up there towards the front, I mean, you guys had enough excitement for a race with 30 drivers in there, so I have no doubts it'll still be exciting. Justin, who can we shout out after this big win here tonight?
Shout out to you guys, the best broadcast team on the sim here, Grid Vision. We got a shout out to all league owners or admins putting this on for us. This is a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed this league. Champions, we got a Bruzy, Team Watson, Hyperforce. I think that's about it.
All right, Justin. Well, thanks for your time, brother. You have yourself a great night, and we'll see you next week at Milwaukee.
Hey, have a good night.
That was Justin Levine, our winner here tonight for the All-Star race at Eldora Speedway, of course, with the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. What an exciting show we had here tonight. I'm telling you, these guys definitely took care of business. I mean, I was like, man, we don't have a lot of drivers showing up here tonight, Taylor. But I tell you, it didn't matter. These guys put on a awesome show. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. I couldn't even get the words out quick enough to describe what I was saying.
Yeah, they put on a stellar drive battling here, and of course, racing at Eldora, you always find something exciting to watch when it comes to racing here at this hallowed ground of a dirt track.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think we're going to take a quick look at the schedule, of course, for the rest of the week, so you know what to expect here from us here at Grid Vision. And of course, as you can see, we do have days that are open. If you'd like to have your league covered, definitely reach out to us for sure on our Discord, or you can message us on our Facebook as well. Now that we have, we can pretty much put an X through the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series this Tuesday here. So now tomorrow, Thunderclamp iRacing presented by TLC is going to be in action with the Xfinity car at Indianapolis. That's going to be an exciting one at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, on Friday, we're going to continue with our coverage of the NASCAR iRacing Series, or NIS, at Pocono Raceway. I know we had an exciting race there at New Hampshire this past Friday, so I expect this one to be just as exciting for sure at the Tricky Triangle. And of course, this Sunday we're going to be at Pocono once again in the Global Racing Truck Series. Of course, they put on some awesome shows week in and week out. I love those Sunday shows for sure. Definitely a way to get hyped up for the NASCAR race that Sunday. But I do believe that brings us to the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. We appreciate everybody out there tuning in to the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, of course, on Grid Vision. My name's been Brian Britt. Of course, Taylor Burris has been my co-commentator. Austin Derbyshire has been down behind the cameras. Also, big shout out to Justin Levine. I know he won the race, and he's also a co-owner with us here at Grid Vision. We do appreciate also Champion Power Equipment for trusting in us to bring quality broadcasting to them. With that, we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to tune in tomorrow with Thunderclap.